Fairmont Mayor Tom Mainella once again has shown us who he is, and our city council, many of which are up for re-election, have proven to us exactly why they have no business being in office. In case you forgot, let us remember together. It was just last year when the face of the friendly city asked a local father who was dropping off his child at daycare, "Do you know who I am?" Then insinuated that our honorable Fairmont PD was corrupt and proceeded to tell the man's crying child that her father was stupid.
Calling the police? Good, good. You know who I am, by chance?
Don't care, buddy.
I'm the mayor.
Okay.
When the police come,
You should.
who they going to side with?
Being the mayor, you should act like that? I got a crime.
Being who you are, you ought to be so stupid as you park right here and block the street when all you got to do is pull up a couple of feet or park in the driveway.
Come here, sweetheart. Come here, honey. You're scaring my girl to death, dude.
Oh, you're ignorant. You're stupid, okay? My license number is 695. When the police get here, you tell them, okay?
I want to go home.
Stupid. You're stupid.
I want to go home.
Come here, sweetheart.
I want to go home.
Come here, sweetheart.
I want to go home.
Come here, let me hold you. I know, let me hold you. Come here.
Kid, your dad is stupid, okay?
I want to go home.
After that incident, the local man and his wife went to city council and requested an apology from Mayor Mainella. The mayor further insulted the family and doubled down on his embarrassing and shameful behavior of our city.
Years ago, and I said that when you get elected to city council or any other elected office, you no longer speak as an individual. You speak as the mayor or city council person. And you know what goes around comes around, because you're right, I was wrong. And I do apologize to you and your kids.
Do you think
What about me?
I'm not going to apologize to you.
And why is that?
Because I'm not here to answer your question, by the way, but I'm going to anyhow. I very nicely asked you not to park like that because I couldn't fit my truck through.
You fit your truck through. And no, you did not very nicely ask me.
Yes, I did.
Well, now you're not telling
Then
the
you
truth.
said
You felt
to
like
those little
you felt like
kids.
that's how I deserve to be talked to. You felt like you needed to humiliate me in
I
front of my
was
children.
there. I was there.
I was too.
You weren't.
I was
I
too.
know what went on.
And
I'm
I
not
was
going to apologize to you, and this is over with.
Would you like to
This
address,
is over with.
Would you like to address the fact that
But
you
sir,
said that
you-
you're above
This
the law?
is over with.
and
You
that Congress
used
doesn't
your
believe
role
You had
to
your
intimidate
chance, and it's over with.
another
If that's
Citizens
citizen.
petition is over. I apologize to who I needed
and
to
that is
apologize to,
why
not
he said,
to
who are
you.
you going to believe?
So
That's it.
You don't think you say
I'm just going to answer your questions, okay?
After going viral and public calls for his removal from office flooded City Hall, an executive session was held. Sources tell me that in that meeting, the council considered buying off the family with a trip, but city attorney advised council that the optics would scream corruption. Though they could not remove him from council, they could remove him as mayor. But in the end, only 2 council members voted to do so. In the spirit of unity, the council announced that the decision was unanimous and voted to censor him instead, which had no consequences. In an even bigger and louder display of hypocrisy was the silence of the council, especially that of Deputy Mayor Donna Blood, who works for CASA, and Special Education Director Gia Deasy. Donna Blood and other board members had lots to say when other council members had written statements online about adult female politicians, but yet they were strangely quiet when they witnessed Tom Mainella screaming at Romella Hodges, a black female citizen who addressed council one evening, or the night that he berated Dora Grubb, a former female councilwoman, directly after a council meeting while everyone was still present, or as he yelled at a young child and called her father stupid as she cried, or as he insulted a woman and her husband as they asked for an apology as citizens of their city who had been disrespected by their elected officials. Donna Blood, who advocates for women and children, and Giudice, who oversees special education children in our schools, sits silent, protecting an abuser of women, an abuser of our city. They sit complicit, and we saw this display again as Mayor Mainella threw profanities at council member Barry Bledsoe, who confronted him for lying to the public about money and an ordinance. Tom Mainella did this with his favorite audience present, a child, and did so during a public city council meeting. Donna Blood and Giudice and the others on council sat silent, never speaking out against Tom.
For the adaptive reuse of the property to house certain aspects of city government and services, including executive functions and public safety personnel and equipment. My personal opinion is that needs to specifically read that is for the fire department. I'm sorry, police department. Now I know that's what we're doing this for. But you know what? Fairmont City Council, when not too long ago, makes a habit of saying we're going to do one thing and then do another, just like they did with the street fund. So I think this ordinance needs to specifically say that it is for the police department and the.
We're thinking of code. We're thinking of police and code enforcement.
Then whatever you think is going to go in there, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. I think it needs to say that in the ordinance to prohibit anything down the line from saying, "Oh well, we do it for this instead."
What if they
Yeah,
do?
but
What's the
why
problem with that?
Yeah,
Because
why would you tie your hands
If we're going to spend that kind of money
Yeah.
and tell these people this is for the police department, and they say, well, you know, it's good for the police department, and then turn around and say, oh, we changed our mind, like we did with the street fund. That's a crock. We promised, absolutely guaranteed in writing when that street fund was passed. It's the last line of that ordinance specifically said that this fund would never be used for anything else ever. And you said it doesn't matter what it says, we can do what we want. And that's a crock.
But you had to you couldn't just do it under that ordinance. You had to pass another ordinance.
That's
Right,
semantics.
so, I mean, I can imagine something like that is.
Now, don't get me wrong, I was in favor of doing that in a sense
Right.
because we needed that money.
Right.
On the other hand, I thought we should have done it in two separate ordinances, cut the street fund and stopped. Create another ordinance to create another fund if you want to, because the police and fire department didn't need that. But we lied to the public.
No, we didn't lie to them. No, we didn't lie to the
The ordinance
public.
said you'll
No,
never
we
use
didn't
it for
lie to
anything
the
else,
public.
and you said it doesn't matter what that ordinance said.
We
We're
cut
gonna
the
do it
street
anyway.
fund in half. We all agreed on it, cut it in half, devoted the other dollar to public safety, because the policemen he was training were going everywhere else to work.
I'm not saying they didn't.
We didn't lie to the
We should have
public.
done it some other
I
way.
don't appreciate you telling me
You're wrong.
I lied to the public.
You did.
You're an asshole.
Your exact words
You are an asshole.
Your exact words were,
You're-
it doesn't
you
matter what
are
it says.
an asshole,
We can do what
Barry.
we want.
Hey,
Look
Tom,
who's talking.
Tom,
Look who's talking.
Can I answer to the ordinance?
Yeah. We keep this on.
It was only Josh Rice that spoke up to calm Tom down. I suppose if Tom promised you, Deputy Mayor, if you had backed him and promised to vote for him to be mayor in the first place, then you would toe the line and keep silent when you saw his indiscretions. After all, Fairmont really isn't the friendly city. It's about time that we changed our motto to Fairmont, the quid pro quo city.